So Jared Kushner was the story of the day, but also some new members of President Trump's inner circle are being called into this Russian probe. What's going on?
Well, that's right. This list has now expanded to 6 in terms of people that have been asked by Congress, forget the FBI or the special counsel, but by Congress for information. So that list now includes Michael Cohen. That's the president's personal attorney, often called the president's personal pit bull. This is a lawyer who has threatened to sue investigative reporters who were tailing Donald Trump. He now has been asked for information and perhaps documents, perhaps testimony, and he says he's not planning on cooperating, at least not with what they are asking for right now. He says the requests from Congress are overly broad. You're hearing similar things from Boris Epstein. You might have heard his name a lot during the transition. He was very visible then. He worked for a brief time in the White House Communications Department. He has also been asked, I believe, by the House Intelligence Committee for information, and he says he thus far is sort of having a back and forth with Congress saying, you know, I'm not going to give you every document I've ever produced in my life. What exactly do you want here? And so both of those men now being involved in this probe, in addition to some of the other names you've already heard.
How does Donald Trump's personal lawyer, why can't he claim attorney-client privilege and not give anything?
I don't think he's been asked for conversations with the president. Rather, I think that everyone here is being asked essentially for one of two things. Have you ever talked to Michael Flynn, which is a lot of people are, in the transition team? And have you ever had any contacts with Russian officials or people connected with the Russian government? Those are the things that Congress has really been trying to get to the bottom of. I do think it's noteworthy that both of these men, I was trying to figure out why it was these two men that Congress is honing in on. They are both mentioned in that infamous dossier that we have discredited some parts of. So you wonder if maybe Congress is taking a look through that and trying to suss out fact from fiction there.
Did we also hear that Michael Flynn has reversed his decision and going to give some documents up?
Yeah, so there had been that subpoena for Michael Flynn to give a sort of a trove of documents connected to his personal communications and his businesses. And he said, I'm not doing that. It basically gives up my own Fifth Amendment rights. I could potentially be incriminating myself if I gave you every list of every phone call that I've made to certain people. So instead of pursuing contempt of Congress charges, which the Senate Intelligence Committee could have done technically if he refuses to comply with a federal subpoena, instead they issued a new sort of revised subpoena, a bit narrower subpoena, and now he says he will comply with that. He will send along those documents that are asked for in that document.
That is Brad Mielke, ABC News correspondent. Brad, thanks for keeping us up to date.
Thank you.
625, Big 550.